What is up, Boils and Ghouls? Welcome to the Horror Feed. I am the master of ceremonies, Jeff. With me, as always, is the hostess with the mostest. Her name is
Bethany.
And today is a very special day for all of you. You should know by now it's fucking Halloween. Yay, Halloween. And given that today is Halloween and it is the end of Spooktober and Halloween and all that shit, we decided that we are going to end this with a fucking bang. And I've been waiting for this all year, technically. And if you guys haven't figured it out by the title down there, we are doing Halloween, the franchise, worst to best. I mean franchise, including Season of the Witch, for all you fuckers and fuckettes who don't try including it in this. It's a part of the Halloween franchise, therefore it is in this list. And Bethany, if you would please, disclaimer.
All right. So, as always, we go in depth in these. We talk about kill scenes. We talk about what we like, what we don't like of the movies. We talk about all of it. So, now is the time to stop watching if you haven't seen any of the Halloweens and you want no spoilers, because huge spoiler alert.
There, spoilers! Yeah, guys, girls, children of all ages, we're going to be getting in depth with all this shit. This is part one. When you watch part two, same fucking thing. We are getting in depth with kills, with what we like and don't like, just like Bethany said. So keep that in mind, please. And also, guys, girls, please keep in mind that this is just our fucking opinions. This is not the definitive list, because there is no fucking definitive list, okay? It's just not there. This is just opinions, and everybody has opinions, just like everybody has an asshole. This is just ours. This is what we have come up with as far as what we feel is the worst to best. So please, don't chop my balls off. Don't cut her head off. Just enjoy the fucking video, okay? With that said, we are going to start with the absolute crappiest of the crappies, the creme de la... And after very little debating, we went ahead and decided what is the worst of the franchise. Bethany, take it away.
So the worst, starting off at number 11, will be Halloween Resurrection.
You can't scare us, Jen. You're gonna have to do better than that. You too, Freddy.
Oh,
Why did you do that?
Some digital effects.
It's locked!
Go there, go!
Oh, good God. Okay, guys, so me and Bethany were discussing this earlier, and I'm making it a point to at least find one good thing that I like out of each movie. And this one's hard, okay? It's kind of hard, but as much of a shit show as it is, God, the best thing that I can think of as far as what's the best part of this movie is literally just paying tribute to the original movie again, when he, the guy who's like the cook, when he pretty much stabs him on a door, pulling a bob. Every time I see that in no matter movie, no matter what movie it is, I fucking love that scene. And so paying tribute to the original movie, for me, that's the best part of this whole fucking shit show. That, and the fact that Deckard was dressed up like fucking John Travolta from Pulp Fiction. Like, him and his buddy were fucking Pulp Fiction. So, like, that was pretty cool, too. But other than that, nothing. It's nothing but bad from here.
My one positive is Kung Fu Busta Rhymes.
Get his ass, get his ass, get his ass.
I
Watch
like
Chun-Li whoop that ass.
I like Busta Rhymes. The scene was funny, and he was ready to fight. So there's my positive.
I guess I do like that whole trick or treat, motherfucker. That, and when he looks at him, he's like, look like a crispy fried motherfucker. That was kind of funny. I'll give him that. But other than that, this movie was hot garbage. For those who don't know, for some reason, if you haven't watched it, when it was filmed, the whole reality TV bullshit was really, really hot. This is like at the start of it.
Yeah.
And so Dangertainment was this. So what they were doing essentially was they were like going into the Myers house trying to find the lore of Michael Myers and what made him do the shit that he does.
So there was
And
cameras everywhere because it was a reality TV bit.
yeah, and I mean, it just who in their right fucking mind would go into the Myers house knowing all this shit has happened just to do that? Like that's pretty much provoking him. It's like, hey, Michael, come fucking kill me, and it's stupid. And like that's not even the worst part of it. The worst part, like, son of a bitch, like, oh dude, like I swear to God, I hate it. They make him a pussy in this movie. Busta Rhymes punks his ass out while he's dressed as Michael Myers. Who the fuck does that? He's like, I told you to go into the back. Like, what, dude? Seriously? He pokes him in the head. He goes, you silly with it? And Michael just turns like a bitch and walks away. Like, are you shitting me? Like, no fucking way. Michael Myers should have just fucking uppercut his head off and fucking thrown it in the trash can like Jason Voorhees in Takes Manhattan. Like, goddamn, that pissed me off so bad.
Yeah,
And-
yeah. I have to admit with you. I agree with you there. He was a little weak in that movie.
And then I know when we were talking about it, there's a specific part that you don't like. So I want you to go ahead and mention that. Like, it was the beginning part, if I remember correctly.
Yes, it was the beginning. So I don't like what they did to Laurie. I don't like how she was in a mental institution. And what really makes me angry, and we'll go a little more in depth when we go a little further in the list, but what makes me really angry is that her death scene was horrible.
It was.
Like,
It
if
was,
you're gonna take a survivor girl like that out, you give her, a really big exit. Make it worth it. It was weak. And then with what was it? Oh, the kiss and I'll see you in hell line.
Right.
Like, it was super cheesy and it didn't work. It didn't, she was so strong and that made her look weak. So I guess they weakened both of the characters then.
Exactly. And like, we'll discuss H2O later on in this list. And one of the things they did really fucking awesome in that movie was how they built her character up to where she was strong and fucking powerful at the end of that fucking movie. And in this movie, they completely just said, fuck you, and they wiped their ass with it. And they made her dumb. I'm sorry, but when Michael's doing this, when he's upside down and she's thinking that, always got to be sure. It's like, bitch, that's him. He just used his head to break through your fucking door into the mental hospital. And you thinking that's not him?
Well, what's even worse is that they had her actually say that line. I just have to make sure, because they do the cheesiest paramedic switch thing, which I didn't like. That was really horrible. And then she's like, I just have to make sure. And that is just like, that's given too much. Like,
Exactly.
We get it. We get that she has to make sure. We get why now, but you don't have to spell it out for us.
Exactly. And as far as that goes, like I said, later on in the videos, you will understand what we're talking about in case you haven't seen H2O. But yeah, that's really bad. And then there is one more. I want to end this one on a kind of a good note. I do like the clown, that dude who's in the mental hospital at the beginning of the movie, when he's like rattling off John Wayne Gacy and all that. And then when he sees Michael Myers, he gets really excited. He turned into me pretty much and like zones in.
Start saying all the facts about Michael Myers and the background, and that was fun.
Yeah, I like that. I do like that because that literally just reminds me of me. If Michael Myers handed me one of his bloody knives, I'd probably pop a boner. So, no, I completely get it. But I want to end this one on a good note. But yeah, complete trash resurrection, bottom of the list. Coming in at number 10, just right after Resurrection. Right after Resurrection is Rob Zombie's Halloween 2.
Oh, sorry. This old car doesn't always like to start, especially in the rain. Everything will be fine, okay?
Oh my god. Okay, so I swore that I was gonna try like something good in all of them. So in this one, I love the beginning scene. That whole first like 10, 15 minutes of the movie is fucking amazing. If they would have just ended it right there, if I would have known the movie was gonna turn out the way it did, if they would have just ended it with that 15 minutes, I would have been happy. Because it was garbage. That whole hospital scene though was fucking amazing. He still had his mask on. It was fucking insane. It was creepy. All the bodies and ass and
Oh
blood
yeah,
everywhere.
the pit of dead bodies just piled up that she falls into.
Yeah, like that whole scene, even until that part where she's in the little shack and he's like shaking that fucking thing and like breaks in. Like that whole like all of that was awesome until she wakes up. And then it was all a dream and like I fucking hate it. I
Yeah, yeah. Unless you're doing a Nightmare on Elm Street movie, don't go
Yeah,
there.
exactly. Freddy is the man of my dreams. Thank you very fucking much. Okay? But this movie is just it's really hard to pick anything else other than that. I guess the only other thing it really has going for it is the fact that Michael is savage in this fucking movie. He really is. He is a savage. He's not a bitch like in Resurrection. He is fucking brutal. One of the only really good kill that I could even talk about in this movie, like, and I don't even want to talk about it because like this isn't the best kill of the movie. There is one other one that I'll mention later, but I love the bouncer when he fucking like just smashes his head with his foot. That's that savage fucking Michael Myers, and I fucking love it. But other than that, Rob Zombie, what the fuck was you thinking, Boo Boo? Like, Jesus Christ. I understand you're mad because John Carpenter didn't give you the fucking seal of approval, but god damn, dude, that was horrible.
I guess one of the things that really bothered me, because if you come at this movie knowing it's a Rob Zombie movie and not correlating it to a Halloween movie, then it's a really good Rob Zombie movie. It has all the typical Rob Zombie elements in it, but my biggest issue with it is the Halloween 2 did not feel like a Halloween movie at all
Nope.
whatsoever. Good Rob Zombie movie is, if it was a different slasher, if it was a different killer, then I think people would have really, really enjoyed this movie. It had,
Yeah.
a decent storyline, even though they kind of took from that. But it just didn't feel like a Halloween movie. I felt like I was watching something completely different.
Exactly. This is almost like a spin-off to fucking Devil's Rejects or something.
Yeah.
Like, it commits all of the cardinal sins in a Halloween movie. Every fucking thing that you could do wrong or do evil by, they do in this movie. Michael not having a mask. That's bad. Like he's maskless the majority of the fucking movie.
Yeah.
That's horrible. I'd rather him be wearing that torn up mask that we talked about earlier in one of our last videos. Like I'd much rather have him fucking be wearing that mask than this. I'd rather have him CGI mask than have him not having a fucking mask on it. We'll get into that later. And it's just that, and then Loomis is such a fucking dick in this movie, and you want him to die because he's such a prick.
Yeah,
Loomis,
I don't like what they did to Loomis at all. He was just horrible. It was horrible.
exactly, I hate it. Donald Pleasance was brilliant, and he is Loomis. I love Malcolm McDowell, okay? I really fucking do. I love Clockwork Orange. There's so much shit that this man is in that's kick-ass. But in this movie, he was a shitty fucking Loomis, and, like, I actually wanted Michael to fucking kill him. They turned Laurie into a whiny little bitch, depending on what version of the movie. Depending on what version of the movie you watch, because there is a director's cut, and then there is a theatrical cut, and in the theatrical cut, Laurie's pretty much like over it, kinda. In the director's cut, which is what the one that majority of us have seen, because Rob Zombie never actually really released the theatrical cut in the States. It's really hard to come by it. So if you've watched this not in theaters, chances are you've watched the director's cut. So you see how she's like all PTSD, overly whiny, a bitch to Annie,
like
just
legit temper tantrums. It
yeah,
wasn't just like, I'm a traumatized person, I just went through hell and these are the consequences of it. It wasn't even like that. It was like legitimately straight out like 3-year-old temper tantrum throwing.
exactly. I have PTSD. I've never fucking acted like that. And so that bothers the shit out of me. That whole white horse thing. I know you fucking hate that.
I
Like,
do, like the damn horse throughout the whole movie, and on top of that, the visions bugged me. Like
right?
throughout the whole movie, it was, oh, here's kid Michael Myers now all of a sudden in the vision, with adult Michael Myers in the vision and Mama in the vision with a damn horse.
Right? It's like, what the fuck is this? This is supposed to be a Halloween movie. This is supposed to be Michael Myers, not fucking Jason Voorhees with his mama issues. Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
And they do that. So while there are some good things in this movie, and again, I'm going to try ending this. Do you have anything bad else to say about this movie before I end it on a somewhat high note?
No, I think I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Okay. So on a little bit of a high note, okay, because I'm really trying to keep a high note to each one of these. One of the best kills, probably in the Halloween franchise, in my opinion. Like, I fucking love this kill. I really do. Is the Annie death when he finally kills her. That whole reveal, because she's in the bathroom, she's getting ready, and then Michael, you just see him right there in the fucking mirror. And then that whole scene, even though you don't really see it happening, you just see like flashes and all this shit. That whole scene, and then when Brad Dourif, who's playing Sheriff Brackett, when he comes in and he sees Annie laying there and he fucking breaks down and he's like losing control of himself and just fucking going haywire. That's just great fucking acting on Brad Dourif's part. And you could feel the emotion, you could feel that he's like fucking torn up about this. And that was good. Like that kill scene, that whole scene, that was fucking awesome. So I will
I'm gonna
give
have to
Resurrection
agree.
that. Yeah,
I'll have
I'll
to agree
give
with that. And you
Resurrection.
know what? I'll go even a little bit further. And Danielle Harris as Annie, like that was a really good character. Even in this one, she was still. I still like how they kept her kind of the same, and she was just like over. She was just over it. She was over all of it.
Right?
So with the temper tantrum throwing, with the over security of her dad, with all of that, she was just over all of it, and she was just giving everybody shit, and I liked.
Yeah, like I liked it, like right there. Okay, in the first Rob Zombie Halloween, which again we'll talk about later on, you see like she's getting her ass, like you thought she was gonna die,
Yeah.
and she survives, and she's scarred up and shit, but she survives, and she's acting more responsible than Laurie is. Laurie's just a big crybaby in this. So my hands off to Danielle Harris. It's great seeing her back. For those who don't know, she's in Halloween 4. That's where she got her start. And she's also in Halloween 5. So seeing her in Zombies Halloween and Halloween 2 is fucking awesome because, like, she's a sweetheart. She's fucking great. So that's another plus thing about the movie. Like, Danielle Harris, Brad Dourif, Mosley's in it. If you've, or not in this one, sorry. He's in part 1. That's my bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, they did a great fucking job, and that's what we're gonna end it with. That way, there's some kind of a high note because I really don't want to trash them too bad on this of holiest of days. So moving on to number 9, Beth. Take it away.
And at number 9, we have Halloween 5: The Revenge of Michael Myers.
All right, that's it. Now go, 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 and don't drink it all before we get there, okay? Idiot. Okay, asshole. You wanna play? trick. A trick!
Dun dun
In other
dun.
words, mask not being tucked in. The revenge of what the fuck is that mask?
Are we starting with positive or ending? Let's end with positive.
Let's end with positive. Like, I'm gonna try finding at least something positive to say, but the big positive thing will wait until later. Um, so, Cookie Woman. I absolutely love that whole Cookie Woman scene. Cookie Woman, and like that was awesome. I really did enjoy that, and I also enjoy when Michael takes off his mask and puts on like that barbarian mask, like like he's putting on a costume. Like that shit is fucking funny. Like I like that. But for the most part, other than what we're going to talk about in a little bit, that was it.
Yeah, there wasn't very much. Like, okay, for me, this is where they start with the mark or the curse and the whole origin story setup. And I
Mhm.
just, it's very, it's very cheesy to me. I don't like it. I've never dug it. And so for me, that would be one of the worst things is they started with that. And along
Man in
with
Black.
it, the Man in Black. And they did, so that starts with the whole cult thing. So all of that background story stuff, I just felt like it was really cheesy and completely unnecessary. And I have to agree with you. Stop explaining so much because he's so much creepier whenever he was just some random mental, patient that escaped and started killing people for apparently no reason. Like that is more scary than it is when you have this curse story and everything. So this starts with his symbol, the curse, all of that stuff.
Exactly, and I agree with you. I think that whole, saying that he has the curse of thorn and all this shit, which they don't actually say it, but it's his mark, and shit like that. I I don't like it, which is funny because one of my favorite Halloween films, which we will talk about later on, is Curse of Michael Myers, but not that reason. Like there's so many other reasons why that's one of my favorite. It is my personal favorite. Um, but yeah, this movie is just, I don't like that. I don't like the mask. Obviously, that mask is garbage. The way they did Rachel annoys the
Yeah.
hell out of me.
Yeah.
She
The
was so
killing
awesome in
or the
part four.
character?
Both,
Yeah,
honestly,
for
like
me, one of the biggest
lackluster.
things was they completely changed her character. She
Yeah,
was a really cool chick, and then they turned her into like kind of like a ditzy airhead,
yeah,
a
and
little bit.
that's
And the
that.
kill scene was, oh, I'll let you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and no, I agree though. Like that whole thing. Like, I'm sorry. I don't like how they did her. Like she in four, she went from being just a basic teenager chick, and then became like you see her character development in part four, and she becomes a badass. And in this, she's just like, what the hell, And
Yeah.
the way she gets offed, which I'm gonna save that for a little bit later, just because that kind of ties into something that's actually good about the movie. I don't like it. Another bad thing about this movie, obviously, was Tina. Tina, like I hated that bitch. She was annoying.
Well, not only that, but they created this weird bond between Jamie and her, which I'm like, she's just like her foster sister's friend. Like, I don't see
Yeah,
why there's this all of a sudden this really huge emotional connection to this like random character. Like, and they never gave that connection. And then Jamie can't talk.
yeah, right. She's a
That's a big
mute.
one. Like, she can't talk, and we're like sitting here like, okay, why can't you talk? Like, what the heck is going on here?
After rewatching five, the only thing that I could possibly fucking think of is the fact that, um, she's pulling a Michael. Michael doesn't talk technically,
Oh, okay. Oh,
and
yeah,
so
because
maybe,
this kind of has that psychic connection thing
yeah,
going on too. So, okay, yeah, that would
that's
make
the
sense.
that's the only thing that I could think of. I'm just gonna go with it because I think that makes the most sense. If I don't go with that, I'm just gonna get really annoyed with it because I really think it's stupid.
And
Um,
kind of don't dig the psychic connection either. But then again,
Neither
that
do
goes back
I.
to the whole like, you're doing too much. You're explaining too much. Just let him
Yeah.
be a creeper and let him go creep and kill.
Again, this is not a fucking Jason movie, okay? This shit happens in Jason when he fights a bitch with psychic powers. Like, no psychic link crap, none of that, okay? And so again, that's another bad thing. The dumbass goofy cops, like with their little like that was fucking stupid.
Yeah, totally takes you out of a horror movie.
Yeah,
It's
and
kind of like one of those scary movie kind of plots or something that you
yeah,
watch in there.
exactly. And the only saving grace of this, besides what we already talked about, I do love the ending when Loomis is whooping that ass. I love it when Loomis fucking nets Michael and just beats him until he has a stroke, pretty much, and then Loomis stroking out, laying on top of Michael. I do enjoy that. I thought that was awesome. And then I like the versatility. I think the versatility of Michael, and even though I have been saying this isn't Jason, this is the one part where I'll actually say it's okay because I like the fact that I don't think we ever actually see him kill anybody with a butcher knife in this movie. We
Yeah, I
have
don't believe so.
we have scissors, I believe he uses a scythe at one point, and then I know your favorites. Go ahead and tell them.
So one of my favorites, even though it is a little Friday the 13th, but we'll let that slide because it was still a fun scene, is the pitchfork death scene. So that was
Yes.
fun. And it kind of followed the whole slasher rules. Like, you're not supposed to be getting nasty. And this is why, this is what happens.
Yes, Sammy.
So I really dug that. And then I liked the garden rake kill. That
When he
was fun.
when Michael kills Mike.
When Michael kills Mike. Yeah, that was fun. The whole cheesiness between how they had the same name in the car ride. Yeah, okay. But the kill scene before that was really good and that was fun. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, I gotta admit that's it. So we're gonna go ahead and end on a high note for that,
Before
and
we
that's pretty
find
good.
more bad things to say.
Yeah, and there's plenty. Like I said, I can't get over that fucking mask. But but yeah. So there you go, guys. That is number 9, Halloween 5. Coming in at number 8. Remember how we said this is Halloween franchise. This includes the following movie. And me and her kind of debated on this a little bit because I felt it should be a little bit closer to the top, but she wanted it to be here because of the movie right after this.
Yeah, the movie right
So-
after that I felt needed to be a little bit higher.
Exactly. So coming in at number 8 is Halloween 3, Season of the Witch.
What's that?
Who cares?
Not Season of the Witch, or whatever people try to say to make themselves feel better. This is Halloween 3, Season of the Witch.
We need the
Okay?
song. We need the song.
Right? It's playing now, so you guys, I'm sorry about that.
Happy Halloween, 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 happy, happy Halloween, silver shamrock. Happy Halloween, Halloween, Halloween.
But it's awesome. Okay, like the opening credits to the end of the movie, I love it. There's not a whole lot of bad to say about this. It has awesome deaths for being not Michael Myers related. I love when the robots, when Cochrane's little guys like rip this dude's head straight off. Like,
Okay,
that
my
fucking
kill, and it's right at the beginning, so it's really fun. It was funny, it was a little comical, but you know what? It fit the movie. Was the car death scene at the beginning, where
Yeah.
it just kind of like rolls and stuff. Like it
And it's
doesn't
just
look
like,
like it too much, but it just roll. Like I don't know why, but I just really enjoyed that scene. And then it does. It has some brutal kill scenes, like the ice scene in the hospital. When he
right
just
when he
goes with
like
the
puts the
fingers.
fingers in there.
Yes, and he just, oh man, that scene stands out a lot of horror movies. That is just a really good kill scene.
Right, and then speaking of another really good kill scene, um, the lady when she's in the hotel and she has one of the silver shamrock masks and she starts fucking with it, and then she gets zapped, like totally 80 status, man. That has some uber cheesy fucking effects, but she gets zapped and her mouth is all
Well, yeah, her face gets completely mangled up, and that's a good kill scene. I mean, I know with the 80s style stuff,
yeah.
but it was fun. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, like it was a fun kill, and it was kind of gruesome too, because even after that, with her face all, you still see, like the bugs and stuff coming out of her, and you're like, oh damn, that's pretty fucking crazy. And I mean, Tom Atkins is in it, man. I mean, come on, like he's a
Atkins.
badass.
Oh,
He's a
I love
badass.
him so much.
He's kind of a prick in this. He's a little bit of a douche, but
Well,
it's Tom
I mean,
Atkins.
and he was in Creepshow too, so it works. But you know what? It's funny too because in real life he is such a sweetheart.
He is.
He is such a sweetheart. He's one of the favorite people that I met because he made the experience fun and he wrote my favorite line on the picture, everything. He even took the extra time to write this huge line out for me.
Nice.
And he chose it. And I was just like all happy because I was like, okay, that's too long. But like I said, he is a sweetheart. He's a great actor. He's fun. It makes the movie fun. The kill scenes are good. I really don't know why people really don't like this movie. If you I guess don't like if you take out the Halloween aspect because that's kind of what you were supposed to do anyways and just enjoy the movie as a standalone, it's really fun. And I think a lot of people would have loved it more if they weren't just like, okay, where's Michael Myers?
So this is a good horror movie, okay? This is a good horror movie. And if you want to get technical, for all you fuckers saying that Michael Myers isn't in the movie, technically
Yeah.
he is in the movie. Okay? He is in it. So fuck you. He is in the movie. So now you can't bitch about Michael Myers isn't in the movie. Okay? I love the idea of it. I really do. I like just it's sadistic because one of the things that we don't see often, like even especially now, more so now than back then, is the killing of kids.
Mm-hmm.
And this movie was not afraid to push that fucking boundary. And I love that. Okay, we're not talking like teenagers from Nightmare on Elm Street and all that, who, pretty much look like adults almost. But these are like young kids, 8 years old, 12 years old, like actual fucking kids. We got kids. And it was like our kids' age almost. And seeing that shit and how they push that envelope, that's fucking amazing. And I love it. And then another reason why I love this fucking movie so much, which a lot of people seem to forget, John Carpenter originally wanted an anthology entitled Halloween, and it was supposed to be different stories. The first one was supposed to be about the babysitter killer, and then it was going to be, like Season of the Witch. Like that's what his original vision was. But Michael Myers, rightfully so, got so fucking popular that they wanted to just continue with Little Mikey Myers, which I'm completely okay with, obviously. But the soundtrack to this was still very fucking Carpentery and just badass. The whole happy Halloween. Yep, it's playing again. Deal with it. I wanted to do it again because I love it, and it is Halloween, so suck it.
I love that song. We've been singing it like nonstop the whole month.
Right?
The mask, you know what? The mask, they seem very simple looking, but they're really fun and it stands out. Like you see them at the stores, you get excited because you know exactly where that's from. They stand out.
Tradition. It's straight up tradition. When you think Halloween back in the 70s, 80s, you remember those certain classic masks. You remember pumpkins, witches, skeletons, and then of course like vampires and stuff like that. And it's cool, like it's awesome. Carnal Cochran, I love him as a villain. He's doing the whole Celtic thing too, though, which kind of was like, wait a minute. They do it. They mention it in Halloween too, which we'll talk about that at a later point. They always mention like Samhain or the Celtic Festival of Samhain and all that, which they actually do talk about in Halloween 3. But since it didn't involve Michael Myers, I was okay with it. It involved like Stonehenge and all that shit though, and I don't know. Like I don't understand why this movie gets so much hate. Like I don't really have anything bad to say about it. Like I really don't. Like even though it's in the 8th slot, like there's nothing really bad to say about this movie. I enjoy it for what it was. Is it a Michael Myers movie? No. Does that suck? Yeah. Is it a good fucking horror movie? Yeah, hell yes it is.
I
Like
think
don't
so.
knock
I
it
think
till you
it's
try
fun.
it. Yeah, exactly.
And it has like a little bit of comedy cheese in there for you, like the Android Alley when she was decapitated, but the body was still going after. Like it's hilarious. So it has those parts and like the car scene, like I talked about earlier. But the like I said, the kill scenes are really good. So it makes it a good. I don't know. I don't know why it gets so much hate either. I think it's a decent movie.
Yeah, it is. And ending it on a really good high note, I want to talk about the final. My favorite kill scene in this whole entire movie is when like the kids all have the masks on, and the song's playing just like it is now, and then they all start dying, and then you see Tom Atkins' character just losing his fucking mind, trying to get everybody to stop, don't play it, and he's fucking screaming and getting into it. And it's like Cochran winds up winning at the end. Even though he's dead and shit, it's like Cochran fucking got what he wanted. And that's cool as fuck. We don't see that very often. And so yeah, and then that scene with the kid when he's testing it, and that kid starts his fucking face and shit starts melting away, and just all the bugs and snakes and shit. Like goddamn, I say goddamn, I I love it. I love it. Okay, but yeah, do you have anything else to say about Season of the Witch?
Oh no, I think I got all my scenes out.
Sweet. Then, with that said, going on into the number 7 slot, which is actually really fucking ironic, considering that this is the 7th movie in the franchise. Bethany, this is your baby. Take it away.
So in the 7th slot is H2O.
Oh, I thought.
Halloween,
Now we did
20 years later.
kind of, like you said, kind of argued back and forth with this one a little bit, but I really like H2O, and a lot of people really like H2O. It's a fun movie. Yes, it has some things in it that are kind of not so great, but there is a lot of good in here, and it's very entertaining. It's one of the ones that I like watching frequently.
And I will agree with you 100% on that. See, like, so I love H2O. I really do. Like, the only difference why I was thinking H2O should have been swapped slots is just because I can actually pick some bad in this. Where in Season of the Witch, I couldn't really think of anything really bad to say about it. But in H2O, it has by fucking far my favorite ending. The way the in my opinion, if they were going to end the franchise, this movie,
This one. Oh.
this is the way it should have fucking ended. Not that bullshit what Resurrection did, completely fucking ruining this ending, okay? And I just want to jump into it right away. That ending where she fucking when Michael's pinned up to that tree with the van, and he's fucking he's reaching out like and she just fucking chops his head off, and then you just hear her like do the slow breathing, and the music starts playing. It's like goddamn, that is how you like. How else you gonna fucking kill Michael?
Well,
Myers?
yes, because she was ready. She was ready for him, even though she had kind of the drinking thing going on, and you could tell she was suffering a little bit, but she was still ready for him. She was ready to fight him, and she started doing that, and then she knew that she had to take his ass out this time. She knew. That's why it was a plan. That's why she took off. And the way she did it with the decapitation, the best scene ever, it could have ended there, and it would have been perfect.
Exactly. Editor, I want you to put that scene right here. For those who have not seen it, I want you to show the lovely people this fucking scene where she just chops his dome straight off.
Michael. Michael. Michael.
Guys, look at this scene, okay? Just picture it. Picture if the franchise ends like this. This is okay. This is perfect. I can look past all the backstory bullshit because of this scene.
Yeah.
And just Resurrection absolutely ruins it. And
makes it cheesy, and it made it cheesy because it was such a good ending, and it should have just stayed right there. It should have just stopped.
Exactly. My favorite scene of this movie, aside from the decapitation, is literally when she gets her son and her son's girlfriend out of the Hillcrest, and she locks the gate and smashes it, and you see her with that fucking axe, and in the middle of the fucking the school, in the middle of it, she just screams, "Michael!" I was like, ooh, I got goosebumps just thinking about it. Like that scene makes my bacon sizzle. I fucking love it. Like that's when she's ready to face her fucking monster. And like that was it. And I just god damn, man, there are parts of this movie, like I said, there are parts of this movie that are fucking fantastic.
Oh yeah.
This is one of them.
I do like, well, we were talking about it at one time, but the ice skate in the face.
Yeah, right?
At the beginning.
Jason Gordon-Levitt's character. Yeah, when he gets the skate. It sucks that we didn't get to see it on camera, but I still love the fact that, that's, again, Michael's being kind of improvising right now. That's pretty damn awesome. And the only bad thing...
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, either one.
Go bad. I got good, so go bad.
Yeah, save the good. We want to try ending on a good note. So, one of the bad things, probably the worst thing about this movie, okay, there's two things that are really bad about this movie, and we'll jump into each one real quick. The first thing, and I told Beth this, and I stick to my guns with this is the Scream of the Halloween franchise. It is. This is the Scream of the Halloween franchise. When this movie came out, which was in 1998, Scream was a really big fucking thing, okay? And they went with that whole feel. And this is what it feels like. It feels like a Scream movie, just a clean version of a Scream movie, because the deaths in here, for the most part, are lackluster. Laurie has the best fucking kill. And, but it's very much it's like I said, it's the Scream version of Halloween. And just not as good. That's my biggest issue with this movie, aside from the 4 or 5 or 6 or 10 different masks that they use in it, one of which isn't even a fucking mask. And so they started off at the beginning scenes of this movie, they were using the Curse of Michael Myers mask, which is what I think they should have went with. Again, you guys will know later on. I love that mask, and that's the mask they should have went with, but they couldn't make up their fucking mind. And then we get the alien mask. And then we get, the CGI mask, which is absolutely fucking horrendous. It's obvious. It is obvious. It's that scene. If you guys don't know, we'll play it for you right now. It's the scene where, and I'm walking you through it, Michael Myers is standing behind that kid going for the cork strike. You never remember his fucking name because he wasn't really that important. He's not a memorable character. And when the kid sees him and oh, hi, and then you see that mask, right there, that fucking mask, it's god awful. It's CGI. That is a CGI mask, and you could tell that is CGI. That is too obvious. Fucking A. This isn't the only Halloween movie that has CGI. 2018 has CGI, but this one is like obvious CGI, while 2018 is just you can barely tell, but it's there. But like, goddamn, you guys should have just stuck with the person. Like,
CGI mask is that's not the way to go. That's not the way to go.
not at all. And then real quick before I let you in this one, some things that I really like little small things that I like about this. I love the whole beginning scene when Marion Chambers is at Loomis's house, or I'm assuming was
Or
Loomis's house.
just the fact that they brought her back for this one was fun.
Yeah, like I like that whole sequence where you hear, Loomis talking about Michael. I
Where they
also
were.
like.
What about whenever the cops were joking about Michael and they kept making like little jokes like, oh, an old man with a
Right.
walker.
Yeah, right.
I mean, I know that kind of makes it screamy, but I liked that. I thought it was funny.
It's true
Made me
because
feel a
like
little old,
cop
but it was
says he'd
funny.
be younger than me.
Yeah.
Like I was like he'd be younger than me. So like yeah, like that whole sequence is awesome. I love that. Obviously. We mentioned him earlier, Jason Gordon-Levitt. I love that they brought him into this movie. Awesome fucking guy. That whole scene, I really enjoyed that. And then I love LL Cool J in this movie. You can't go wrong. You can't go wrong with LL Cool J. All he wants to do is write a fucking book. He's a security officer. I know what that feels like. But and then go ahead and tell them what your personal favorites.
So I have a few things, and then I'm a Josh Hartnett fan, so of course I was happy about that. And then I know there was some kind of discussion and kind of wonkiness with the timeline with because the mom, like she's Josh Hartnett's mom, but then Jamie was supposed to be her kid and she faked her death. So there's still some confusion on whether this is part of that original timeline where she kind of just abandoned one kid for another, or she had this one later, or, so there's still that questioning, which throws me off. But for my sanity, I just say this is a new timeline. So I know you kind of don't agree with that, but I think just for my sanity, it's easier just to break it off and have it in the timeline in its own separate.
And the only reason why I don't agree with it is because, so in Halloween 4, when they talk about Laurie, they say how she died, right? Like her,
her and
Jamie's,
the husband.
Yeah, Jamie's mother, which is Laurie, and then her husband died in a car wreck. That's what the story was. Okay. Now this movie, this is 20 years from pretty much Halloween 2. But we don't know what happened. So in this one, she's not going by Laurie Strode anymore. So yeah, she faked her death, and she even admits it in the movie. She faked her death to get away from her brother. So faking her death, and then, probably somewhere in this time period from when she faked her death to now, she got with somebody, knocked boots, got pregnant, had fucking Josh Hartnett. So I think that it's still
but
all
then
in
what
the same
happened to
continuity.
the dad for Jamie? So
He's probably dead.
There's still questions here. I don't know.
How do we know that dad, Jamie's dad, isn't Josh Hartnett's
dad?
Because
Yes, and I knew you were going to bring that up.
They talk about how much of a piece of crap he was, so maybe it all ties in that way. Like,
I don't know. It's just really hard to believe with how overprotective she is of her son that she wouldn't equally be as overprotective of her daughter.
Oh no.
That's hard to believe. All right, but anyway,
so
back to
your guys's.
Yeah.
I'd like to hear your guys' opinions on this.
Yeah. Separate timeline or same timeline? Let us know down below. Tell Jeff I'm right.
Or on the Facebook, or on the Instagram, or on the Slasher,
or whatever. But tell Jeff that I'm right.
I'm right.
Get on my side here. Get on my side here. No, but the goods is okay. So it has Jamie Lee Curtis's mom in it.
Yep.
With the car. So
from Psycho.
From Psycho, yeah. So that was cool, and then it had like little moments like that, or with like the nurse in it, and then the when she's yelling at them in the car, drive them to the Beckers.
Yeah, right.
Like and go now. So it had a lot of stuff that was paying tribute to the originals, and I always like it when they do that. So that is another one of my favorites, and it was just it was a fun movie.
Yeah. Like I said, it's the clean version of Scream for Halloween. But that is in the number 7 slot. Now, coming in to number 6, and before I announce it, I want you guys to know this is the last one we're going to talk about in this video, part 1. Part 2, you guys will have, well, it should actually be up there, I think, or down, wherever the fuck these videos go. Wherever these videos go, it's in one of these slots.
I think
Make
it's
sure you watch this one first. I think it is up. So watch part 1 first, then part 2.
1, then 2.
Yeah. But for those who speak Spanish, uno, then dos. Por favor. But coming in at number 6, which this might shock some of you guys, but Rob Zombie's Halloween. The first one. Not that garbage ass one we already talked about.
Hey, buddy, just give you a heads up. I got a Taco Deluxe Supreme talking back at me, so I'm gonna be a while. So, do you mind waiting somewhere else and let me pass this beast in peace? Look, brother. If you're looking for some kind of action, you better take it on the arches before I'm done dropping this load. Or you gonna be one sorry a-hole. I see. What we got here is failure to communicate. You just hold on, Daisy. I've got something for you. Let me introduce myself. I'm Joe Grizzly, bitch. And I'm gonna cut that mask right off your face.
Again, I'm going to try starting with a positive, and I want to end with a positive. But the first positive thing I'm going to say about this, Tyler Mane is a fucking amazing. Amazing. I didn't even just say amazing. I said a fucking amazing Michael Myers. How tall he is, how fucking brutal he is. We haven't seen a Michael Myers this brutal since... Well, we'll talk about that in the other video that you have to watch. But I fucking absolutely love Tyler Mane in this movie. The mask is fucking on point. I like the way the mask looks.
Dude, love that. I love that. You know what? It is one of my favorite masks out of the series. And I agree with you. The dude is huge. He is so
He's fucking
huge.
massive.
And he's brutal. And the mask, I really dug the mask that they did for this one. I really do.
Exactly. This mask was just, it was awesome. And that's like, so I want to start with really good. So that's really good for this movie. Now I'm going to jump into the bad real quick. Bye, bad. Some people might like this. I do not like this. Bethany already knows what I'm going to mention.
Oh, yeah.
All of you, if you have watched these videos, you should know what I'm about to fucking say. I hate the backstory. I hate it. I fucking hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I can't stand it. I don't like the backstory. Okay? You guys know how passionate I am about this fucking franchise, okay? I bleed Halloween, okay? I do not like this whole hillbilly backstory that they gave him, because I'm sorry, but if you're raised this way, you're probably going to be a fucking killer. It's everything's lined up for you to be a killer. Your mom's a fucking stripper. Her boyfriend's a piece of shit who fucking wants to beat the shit out of you. Your sister's a fucking hoe, faux show. Just, you're getting bullied at school. Of course you're going to become a fucking killer, man. And, like, it takes away the mystique of what is Michael Myers. Not even that. It takes away the mystique of what is Halloween as a fucking franchise, okay? That first movie, which again, we'll talk about in that video up there, it is amazing because this is something that it's scary as fuck. You know, this is something that could happen. This whole hillbilly shit could happen too. Obviously, it does happen. But like the whole babysitter killer thing, you know, no backstory, no fucking motive, none of that shit. That is amazing. That's what makes Halloween, the OG Halloween, this Halloween, so fucking good. And this movie, great fucking remake, okay? Don't get me wrong. It is an awesome remake. Out of the Nightmare remake, out of the Friday the 13th remake, out of the fucking all the different Texas Chainsaw remakes and prequels and all that shit, just all of the other remakes, this one is one of the best fucking remakes. Hands down. It is. Just take away that first like 20, 30 minutes of the movie. That's all you got to do. Just take that away. Take that shit away and let it go. And this is a fucking awesome movie. It really is.
I do agree with you on it. I do think it does take away from a lot of the creepiness aspect. So I can get on board with you for that. However, I did dig the backstory. You know, I dug it. I did. But I can see where you're coming from, and I could see how it would have been better with it taken out. So, you know, I mean, I do, though. I have a fascination to that. It is fun. Well, not fun, but it is fascinating to see this little kid dealing with shit over and over and over again, only to see him start slowly snapping and changing. So I get what you're saying, because you do see it happening. You do see him start changing, like and this is a really good scene, but it's right on point with what you're saying when he takes out the bully at school.
Beats him with that fucking big ass tree branch.
Awesome kill scene. It was brutal. I enjoyed it. That's kind of sick to say, but I did. But you can see where it starts, where he kind of starts snapping. So it isn't
he's
like
snapping.
Yeah, so it isn't like the original where you're like, oh my gosh, that was a kid. You know, you're
Right? Surprise, you're like, whoa.
You're seeing like, oh well, I knew that was going to happen, or I figured that was going to happen because look at how he's being treated. So I do get what you're saying, and I do have to agree with that.
Exactly, and like the one thing I will give the beginning, okay, I do like some of the kill scenes, like when he goes and he kills that asshole boyfriend. Like,
oh yeah, that was
amazing.
fun.
Yeah, like
no, that was awesome.
I do like that scene.
Duct tape and everything. He can't even really. He struggles, but he can't struggle because he's all taped up. Like that was he just took him out. It was brutal.
And he sees Michael kill him too. That was the fucking badass part. Like right after Michael slits his throat, he opens his eyes and sees him there, and he's just like staring at him. It's like that was good. Like, and then when he beats the fuck out of fucking Judith's boyfriend with the baseball bat and shit. You know, like,
and again, it's like no mercy on that. And the only thing, like, okay, so when he goes after his sister, because we knew what was happening and everything, the only thing I didn't like is he got a little pervy.
I know, and he's like tracing her legs and stuff.
Yeah, and I was just like, that's a little much for me. But I'm like, dude, that's your sister. That's a little too hillbilly for me there.
Right? Hey, I said it was a hillbilly start. And then like when he's like in the clown costume, and then he puts what becomes known as the Michael Myers mask. When he puts that on for the first time, and he's like a little kid wearing it, so it looks like he's like a fucking pop figure, like a little bobblehead. It's fucking hilarious. And then when she smacks him with the head, it's like that just made me laugh. Like I'm not, even though I hate the backstory, and I really fucking do, I'm not going to take away from some of the kills, because the kills are fucking savage.
No, the kills are fun.
Excuse me. Tague did an amazing job as young Michael Myers. He really did. And, you know, so I'll give him that. I really will. But I still hate that fucking beginning. Like, I don't, like, take the first 30 minutes out and I'm good. And then also, like, so there's two versions of this movie as well, because it's a Rob Zombie movie. The majority of you, unless you have seen this in theaters, you've probably seen the director's cut. There's a scene in that I don't like. It pisses me off. I like what Michael does when he kills them, but I don't like that whole rape scene. again, I understand the shock value and zombie trying to do zombie things, but I mean, I just don't like it. You know, that bothers me. If you look in other zombie movies, he has a very similar thing where there has to be some sort of a rape scene, and so the directors kind of really don't like that. And in the theatrical version, we actually like Bill Moseley's in it, and
Yeah.
he's like one of the cops that are going to escort him. And so I actually kind of like that scene a little bit more because more kills for Michael. And
Well, speaking of this movie has a lot of cameos in it. It has a lot
oh
of
yeah,
fun people in it. So you have,
oh,
like you said, there's Mosley. So we also have Dee Wallace in it.
yeah,
She's amazing.
she's
We
a
have,
great mom.
oh yeah, we have Sid Haig in there.
Yep,
We
he
have
is the graveyard keeper.
Danny Trejo in it. He's fun.
Ishmael, he's Ishmael.
And then, like we mentioned for H2, he is also in here for Brad Dourif as the sheriff. And then we have Clint Howard,
He
Mr.
is. He's
Ice
one of the.
Cream Man.
He is one of the hospital suits when Michael breaks out and all that crap.
So, I mean, if you know, Rob Zombie knows to make us horror fans happy, put a bunch of people from horror movies in your movie and we're going to be happy. We are.
Exactly.
We love that.
And then let's not forget, you know, Danielle Harris is in this movie. They brought
And
her
of
back.
course,
So
I
having
know
her,
she has her own line. She had her own
yeah,
line. I love her as Annie. So we love her. So to put a bunch of horror movie people in your movie, and the fans we're gonna love it. You can make the worst movie ever, but if you have a lot of cameos from a lot of horror fans, we're gonna buy it because hey, our favorite actors are in it.
exactly. But I do got one bone to pick with Michael Myers in this movie. Okay, why
Uh-oh.
are you gonna kill Ishmael? He was being nice to you. Danny Trejo's character, okay? He was being nice to you. He was practically fucking raising you in that mental hospital, protecting you and shit. And then you go and kill him. And you go and kill
Yeah.
him in a fucked up way. What's up with that? Like, how
Yeah.
are you gonna do Danny Trejo like that?
Yeah,
Like,
well, I mean, he shouldn't have killed him because he was showing respect, you know? He was giving
yeah, that
respect.
whole
The other guy
time he
wasn't,
was
he
showing
shouldn't.
respect.
But at the same time, we were just talking about what they did to Laurie's character, and if you're going to take somebody out, you take them out right. If it's a good character, you take them out right. So
Yeah.
you can't really complain about that, but he was showing respect, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I guess they want to show the brutal because, I mean, this movie is more brutal. It has a lot more gore in it, which I love. So I enjoyed the gore.
I agree. Another great thing about this movie is the fucking soundtrack. Oh my god. This soundtrack, for the longest time, this is my favorite soundtrack to a movie. Okay, I have certain soundtracks that I can listen to over and over again. Queen of the Dam soundtrack, fucking the Crow soundtrack. Like there's a lot of soundtracks that I absolutely love. And then this soundtrack comes out, and this one is just fucking amazing, man. Like Don't Fear the Reaper's on it, God of Thunder from Kiss, like all this badass fucking music. And again, this is a great soundtrack. It's like up until Guardians of the Galaxy, this was my favorite soundtrack. And so like bravo on that, you know. I'm happy we didn't hear a bunch of like zombie songs or something. As much as I love Rob Zombie as a music artist, I'm happy we didn't get like Dragula and all that crap during this. So plus for that. And then
Now I'm trying to picture the movie with all of his
dig
songs
through
in
the
it.
ditches and burn through the witches while Michael's fucking stabbing everybody.
I don't know. I think I would dig that. So I don't know. Well, I'm gonna have to put that together and see.
You know, we should go back to Halloween 2, the Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, when he sees his mama and play Living Dead Girl.
Yes, yes, we're doing that. Put it in. It's perfect. Without the damn horse.
Right?
Fuck
Without
that horse.
Mr. Ed. But what's some of your favorite parts of this movie? I have one in specific that I want to talk about.
You know what? And I don't know if it's going to be the same one. So real quick, I want to say that I do like Malcolm McDowell as Loomis in this movie.
In this one.
In this one, you know, I thought it was great casting, and I enjoyed him as Loomis. I did. I really liked it in this one.
He had big shoes to fucking fill in this movie.
So you know
Big
already what my favorite scene is. I love Hanging Bob. I love that. So that will be my favorite scene. It
Hanging
wasn't the
Bob.
same one you got, was it?
No.
Okay,
So,
okay, good.
but I will go ahead and again pay homage to it, just like I mentioned with Resurrection. Anytime that they do the Bob scene, even in this one, because it was Bob, I fucking love it. Okay, it is out of all of the kills in all of Halloween, it is the most iconic kill, and it's probably my favorite. It's either one of my favorites or is my favorite kill. I have a shirt, you guys have seen me wear it, of that kill because I fucking love the Bob kill. So I agree with that. And even in this one, his version of Ghost Bob in this one is kind of fucking funny too. So because he's like so much taller, he's a fucking giant compared to Bob, and she still thinks Linda still thinks that's her boyfriend. Like, come on, bitch! Like there ain't no way. But like, I do like that. I really do. I have to agree with that. My favorite part of this whole movie is probably the most ridiculous part of the whole movie, but I want to get into a little bit of detail, okay?
Oh, no.
So my favorite part of this movie is I'm Joe Grizzly, bitch.
Nope.
Like, I love it. I fucking love it. Like that whole scene where he's like, "Hey, buddy, I got a Taco Deluxe Supreme," or whatever the fuck he says, talking back at me. I'm gonna be about. You mind if I let this boy pass this beast in peace? Like that's me in the fucking bathroom. I don't want anybody bugging me while I'm on the shitter after I ate fucking Taco Bell. And so just that whole scene and how Michael's impatient just standing there. And he's like, if you got a problem, you better take it on the arches. And I'm like, oh man, this is going to be great. And I just see that whole thing when he gets up and he's like, I'm Joe Grizzly, bitch. And I'm going to cut that mask straight off your face. And then Michael gets pissed. Just seeing those two, like Joe Grizzly's a big motherfucker. And to see those two just fight and go at it. And I fucking love it. Like that whole scene is easily my favorite scene. Like I can't remember his name right now, which I know I'm going to kick myself in the ass for not remembering the guy's name who plays Joe Grizzly. I know who it is.
I do too, and I can't.
He's been in so much shit. He's going to be at Frightmare next year.
I know. I'm trying to think of Ken, right?
Yeah, I believe
that's
so.
His name, Ken Foray.
Foray, I believe. Yeah, Ken Foray, something like that. I absolutely love him. And this, even though it's such a small role, I love it. Like, I can't get enough of it. I can't get enough of I'm Joe Grizzly, bitch. Like, there's times where I'll go to work and like I'll have to throw out a homeless person like, who the fuck are you? And I'll say I'm Joe Grizzly, bitch. So like I absolutely love it. Like if I could get away with it, I would switch my name to Joe Grizzly just so I could constantly fucking say it. Like easily my favorite part of this whole movie. Do you have anything else to say about Rob Zombie's Halloween 1?
No, I think we covered a good chunk of it.
Okay, then, ladies and gentlemen, this is it. This is the top, or bottom, technically. The bottom 7. Right? No, 7? 6. Bottom 6. The video up here, that one right there, that's the top 5. That's where we get into some good shit, some controversial shit. You'll probably see me geek out a whole lot more up in there.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So, again, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you are having a great fucking Halloween. Stay safe out there. If you guys are going to go trick-or-treating, which I fucking encourage, please make sure that the kids are safe. You know, check the candies, all that shit. Make sure there's no Rona. But until the next video, this has been a Horror Fiend production video thing. Something I don't fucking know.
That was too fancy. End it with what your favorite line from where we ended. Who are you?
I'm Joe Grizzly, bitch. And that's Bethany, right? I think.
Yeah, Bethany. I'll be Bethany.
Yeah, she's Bethany, and I'm Joe Grizzly, bitch. Later.